All right. Well, what a difference a day make. And you can't make this stuff up. But we'll get into it. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. This is another episode of New York Knicks Recap. Okay. Um, okay, Friday night you get blown out by OKC, and it looked like there's no answers. Players are saying the right things after the game, but at the same time, we have a tendency this season, even though we still have a great record, we're not showing up in the big games, especially the big televised games. Now, the puzzling part is you come back to yesterday and you blow out the Milwaukee Bucks. And not only do you blow them out, you shoot 60% from the field. All right, so let's start with Milwaukee. The game started out, it looked like Giannis and Dame was going to have another one of those kind of nights, right? Dame was hitting everything under the sun. Giannis was getting everything. He was bullying his way to the basket. The only thing I didn't understand with the referees is why, like he was traveling almost every play. Giannis was traveling, but the calls weren't being made, right? And then when they show the replay, you can blatantly see that he's skipping, hopping, changing his pivot foot. Like if a guy's gonna do that, then there's no way to guard him. All right, but at the same time, Dame was hitting every shot that he pulled up on, and it looked like even though he averaged 5 assists, it looked like Dame started to try to be a facilitator, and I don't know if that actually started to hurt them because his passes just wasn't connecting with his team, and the Knicks took advantage of that, full advantage of that. Now Brunson came out hot, and he continued that through the whole game. It looked like Mikal was coming out of his three-point shooting slump, hit his first shot, and then he just went cold. Actually, he really stopped shooting, which I waited for them to explain that. I didn't really get that, why he wasn't really taking the shots. But at the end of the game, he started shooting again. Cat was having a pretty good game. Well, better than pretty good game. Cat was having a good game. But it was Brunson who was the catalyst last night, with help with the other team because our defense started to pick up. Our team defense actually started to pick up. But we got to give big kudos to Cameron Payne, who his threes was on fire, and he wasn't shy about shooting them. I don't know what somebody told him. I don't know, but we'll take it because he couldn't miss. And it just started to seem like Milwaukee, even though the score wasn't indicative of how the game looked, it looked like it was a lot closer. But it looked like they couldn't hold on once Giannis, I don't know if did he go cold or because he wasn't the same player as the game started going on. And then Dame, started either not shooting as much, but definitely not making as much. And turnovers was crazy for Dame. So all that, could that be our defense? Because when OKC put the pressure on us, they said it was OKC's defense. So was that them throwing the ball away or was that our defense? All right, but you could be the judge on that one. But it just looks like, too, the Knicks, they took Tibbs' word that, they're growing and they're going to get better and they got to put that game behind them from the OKC. And it kind of looked like we did that. Now, in the press conference after the OKC game, all the players said all the right things. But we know that's not always what's in your heart. But I have to give them credit for coming out. It's easy to fold because Milwaukee has gotten way better in the past few weeks. And at some point, too, with them, Giannis and Dame are going to get it together. But if we're going to shoot 60% from the field, then it's going to be hard for a lot of teams to beat us if our team defense is on point. And that's actually how we won last night. It was our shooting percentage, but it was also, we started to recover. We started recovering off pick and rolls and not making it so easy for them to turn into the basket. And then for the first time, they didn't have a guy to come in off the bench, an unknown guy, and then just light us up. Like that didn't happen. So Tibbs must have said something that really got under their skin because the Knicks came out balling. And I ain't gonna lie, I gotta be honest, I was actually waiting for the shoe to drop because at the clip that we was making shots and playing, I didn't know because of the way we was playing up and down lately, I didn't really know we was gonna be able to sustain that for 4 quarters. And we actually did. And now during the winning streak, even though we had the winning streak, it looked good winning, but there was a lot of faults you could see that we had to improve on. But after that, the next 5 games, we just looked like we was in total disarray. Now, just because you lose don't mean everything is going bad, and just because you win don't mean everything is good. But you could see last night guys were getting back to cutting, which we kind of got away from. Backdoor cutting is one of our biggest staples this year, that propelling us into this big win column leads that we have. But somebody, either assistant coach or somebody on that team, got to keep reminding the players of do what we do good. We can't try to match other teams star for star all the time, or if they want to run or walk it up, we got to play our game and make other teams play our game. And, fortunate for us this year, we got a team that can play actually all facets. We can run, we can post, we can play in the half court, and we can actually run plays. But we can't let other teams constantly dictate what we're going to do out there on the floor. And I'm not overly happy about the win yesterday. It's just nice to see that somebody just can't keep walking up in here and taking advantage of us, and we just gonna lay down. So now tonight we play Detroit. Detroit is rising, up and coming. I thought everybody probably felt this was going to be a tank season for them, but surprisingly, they even over 500, even with the players they got. Now they got Cade Cunningham, they got some nice pieces, but still, I went to a game a few weeks ago and Detroit just spanked us. So we owe them now that, actually we're back home again with them. But we got to be able to take care of all these teams in this long homestand that we have, because even though we're playing good teams in this homestand, teams over 500, we still have to take care of business, because we're supposed to be one of them teams. And we got to show everybody, East and Western Conference, that we are for real. And we know that it's a marathon and not a sprint, but still the Knicks, we have the formula, and we just have to get everybody clicking, at the right time on the right page every time. And when we could do that, it's going to be hard pressed for somebody to tell me we can't be one of them teams to be there in the end. And I'm saying just have a chance, that we can't be one of them 4 or 5 teams that have a chance to win that chip. It's going to be hard to convince me of that if we can stay consistent and start winning some of these big games at the right time. We beat up on a lot of the sub 500 teams. We've gotten some good wins, like Denver, people like that, over some talented teams. But on the big stage, we kind of fold. So, again, not overly excited about the win last night, but happy that we bounced back. And we've shown the capability of coming back. But to bounce back and get a win, I'm happy about that part. But we have work to do, and we just have to stay the course. And then the other part is, we want to be there in the end, but also you want these games to look good too. You want to enjoy the season. You don't just let the chips fall where they may at the end of the season and we're there. No, I want to enjoy every step of the way. Just like if I'm traveling, if I'm going somewhere, it's not just the destination I'm going to. I want to enjoy the ride getting there. And that's kind of how this season is. Right now, the Knicks are really giving us a chance to enjoy the ride with some bumpy roads. And we'll take that, because we ain't expecting nobody to lay down, and we don't even want to win that way. We want to win with a lot of parity in the league and with a lot of tough teams that nobody can't take this away from us. That's how we want to do it. So a lot of home games coming up. Even some of the away games against the Nets and Philadelphia are like home games, to us. So we got to pad this league. We got to pad this league, so if the ship do sink a little bit again, like the last one, we have a little cushion. Because even after all of that, the past 5 games, we still got the 4th best record in the whole NBA. And that's saying something, It's saying something to me. All right. But I like that. I like the fact that teams know that New York is here, and we here to stay. All right. Until next time, peace.